Whenever people are talking about a party switch, or they'll just say a blanket statement, oh, the party swapped. They say it as if the Republican Party woke up, everyone in the party said, okay, today we're going to be the segregationists. And all the Democrats said, okay, today we're going to be the champions for civil rights. It's not that simple. In fact, history is very nuanced and complicated, and it requires us, if we're going to have an honest discussion about what took place and how that's impacting us today, we have to stick with the facts and be objective. And even if our party that we support has a dark history of not supporting our group, aka the Democratic Party, who has been the party that has been against every single civil rights act in history. In fact, the Republican Party was created by Black men and abolitionists as an anti-slavery party. That party was created to push back against the institution of slavery. So the Democratic Party and the Republican Party have always been in direct opposition to one another. And so you start to see a shift in their constituents, but not necessarily the core of what their party represents. For example, the Republican Party has remained the same, the actual party and what the party represents. The people who vote Republican now, that has shifted over time. The difference is the Democratic Party, their actual party, the core of that party, a lot has remained. But the one thing that changed, that actually created a massive divide amongst the Democratic segregationists, is the fact that members of their party started to be bipartisan and vote with Republicans to pass civil rights legislation. This is why when 1964 approaches and the Democrats start voting with Republicans, the other segregationists, the majority of the party, they are not happy with this. And this is when you start to see the roots or the seeds of what you would call a party switch. Strom Thurmond was a Democrat senator from South Carolina. He was a lifelong Democrat. He was a segregationist and a states' rights advocate. Thurmond believed that the federal government should not make segregation laws or pass segregation laws or voting laws, that all of this should be left up to the states. He was also vehemently opposed to civil rights legislation. So once he saw the Civil Rights Act pass, he said, that's it, I don't want to be a Democrat anymore. He dropped his party and registered as a Republican. Now that's a little nugget for you, but let's go a little layer deeper. At the same time, we start to see the South change drastically. Remember the South, what they would call the Solid South, they were the majority, they were white Southern Democrats who were segregationists. And they are witnessing their party, who they were counting on to maintain their segregationist position, voting for civil rights for Black people. Well, that's a problem. And so they started to switch to the Republican Party. But again, we like to dive deep here. Why is that? Why did they switch their party affiliation?